Oh wow, yeah, that is way better. Drawer pulls are getting expensive. I'll show you how to make 6 different pulls you'll actually want to use so you can save some money. And one includes something I've never seen on a wooden pull that will get you excited to open some drawers, as weird as that sounds. You'll see what I mean. This first one is a drawer knob, and I used to think I needed a lathe to make a knob like this, but not with this technique. I have a lathe, but this method is pretty dang cool. I'm cutting a piece of PVC pipe that has an 1.25 inch outside diameter and cutting about an inch thick piece. Okay, here's where things get a little hairy. I'm using some CA glue, which obviously stands for California glue, and gluing the PVC pipe to my workpiece. But then I realized I do not like those square corners, so I'm gonna knock those down with my router and a roundover bit. I'm using a compression pattern bit to make my mahogany workpiece perfectly round by letting the bearing ride on the PVC pipe. The PVC pipe is acting as my template. I was having to fight my workpiece a little bit because it was so much bigger than the PVC pipe, and the PVC pipe is so narrow that it's really hard to keep the router steady. So it had some blemishes in the end. No big deal, I'll try it again. This time I'm cutting my workpiece to just a hair over an 1.25 inches by an 1.25 inches. And here's what I did to fix those blemishes. I just focused really hard and tried to keep my hand really steady. Yeah, I don't have a quick fix for this one. It's actually a pretty tough technique, but with some sanding, I was able to get this piece pretty dang round. The guy who I first saw do this technique made it look so easy. Has that ever happened to you where you see a video online of somebody making or doing something and they make it look effortless, and then you try it yourself and it is anything but? Yeah, that can be frustrating. So I try and keep it real with you here. Is that still a cool phrase, keeping it real? Anyways, to make this knob look totally boss, I'm using a piece of wood that's right at the midline of the knob to find center. To drill in the exact center, I'm using a drill guide. Oh boy, let's talk about this drill guide. I'll give you my totally unfiltered view of this accessory in a minute. But here it got the job done. I had some trouble with it in one of the future pulls, and there's an issue with it that really makes me want to try a different brand out. And in this case, I really feel like you get what you pay for. When cutting the 3/8 inch dowel pieces, I found out that my miter saw dust collection works pretty well. It doubles as a miter saw and a gumball machine, which is really cool. I knew it was going to be really tough to sand any glue residue, so I actually wiped up all the glue with a wet paper towel. This really helped and made it so I didn't really need to do any sanding at this joint. I almost did the classic YouTuber thing and did something crazy like making this knob out of Purple Heart. Luckily I didn't, because I think the mahogany was a really nice contrast to this ash nightstand. I feel like I went through so many emotions with this drawer knob. When I was making it, I thought it was gonna be really, really cool and I was really excited about it. And then when it was done, I thought it looked a little bulky and just not quite there yet. I thought it needed a little bit more tweaking. And now that I've installed it, I actually like how it looks. I still think it's not all the way there. I think I need to come up with a few more iterations to make this look just a little more finished. I feel like it looks a little clunky, but I really like how the mahogany contrasts with the ash. Overall, I think this is a solid option for a drawer knob, but just could use a little tweaking. This really makes me want to make version 2 of this knob on the lathe, so maybe that'll be coming soon. This drawer pull, yes, I'm using wood in the form of dowels, but I will also be using another material. Leather, but don't worry, I'll be using it in a very easy way, so you can use this for your project, and it is a very simple technique. The main part that you put your hand on is a 1/2 inch dowel, and then I use 3/8 inch dowel pieces for the sides. For this I'm using cherry wood because that's what I had on hand, but you can really do any species. I think darker woods tend to look a little classier, but it's your life, your choice. I'm giving myself about a 3/4 inch gap between the actual handle and the front of the drawer. That's plenty of room for my little fingies. And between the 3/8 inch dowel and the end of the 1/2 inch main part of the pull, there's about a 1/2 inch of space on each side. I thought I was done with this drawer pull, and to the naked eye, it looks finished, but I really think it's definitely not done yet. Here's what I mean. First off, I've been using the drill guide you saw me use to drill these 2 holes for a while now, and I am not that happy with it. Because if you look closely, it did not drill the holes right in the middle of this dowel. Look, there's a lot more space on the top than the bottom. It's easier to see in person, but you can sort of tell. Not a big deal because you won't be able to tell once the drawer pull is installed. So I think I need to try out a different drill guide. The one I've been using is on the cheaper end, so if you have any suggestions, let me know below in the comments. But why I don't think this is finished, it's just not that interesting. I think I know just the solution to make this a lot more compelling. A little while ago, I made a sign for my mom using wood and her old leather baseball glove from when she was in junior high, and the sign was the logo of her favorite baseball team. And I feel very fortunate that I was able to give this to her before she passed away from cancer. Mom, are you ready?
Yeah?
I made you something.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do you recognize this?
Is that my glove?
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
You like the Giants, right?
You kidding me?
Isn't that
Oh
fun?
my gosh, look at this.
I painted that.
Wow.
Do you like it?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that great?
Look at
You
that's
see?
Daddy made that for Grandma. Do you want to see Parker? He loves me. Okay.
Since I keep everything, including scraps from that glove, I'm using a little piece for this drawer pull. Now this glove is about 60 years old, so this type of leather is going to give it kind of a vintage look. If you wanted a more modern look, you could buy a brand new piece of leather and put that on. It totally depends on the look you're going for, or you could just leave it straight wood, which works as well. And I'm using CA glue with accelerator spray to adhere the leather to the wood. The spray just helps the CA glue dry super fast. If you're looking for a pole that is better suited for shop furniture, I got you. And because I like to do things a little extra, I'm going to give you 2 versions of this shop drawer pole. The second one is just going to be a little nicer. You'll make a cut at 45 degrees and then your second cut will be at 90 degrees, making sure your fence is locked down as I always do. Sorry I misspoke, as I almost always do. Happens to the best of us. My preferred dimensions when these are installed are 4.5 inches wide, 1¼ inches tall, and about 1 inch deep. And I've been using these on shop furniture for years. Now I know you've got a bit of a fancy side. Don't worry, I have one too. So let's make essentially a very similar pole, but just a little nicer. I'm using a round nose bit to turn this block of wood into a drawer pole. Now this has a 3/4 inch cutting diameter, which means it's only a 3/8 inch radius, which will be a problem. But don't worry, you're worried, and I hate when you get like this. I will give you the solution that will turn this from a basically unusable drawer pole to a fully functional pole you will use for many years to come. So we have a bit of a problem. The bit wasn't big enough, it was a little too small for this indentation, and so when I'm trying it out and putting my fingers underneath, it's just not big enough for my fingers. You can see my fingers just don't fit, and that's gonna be really annoying as I try and use these, but I have a solution. I am cutting a piece of wood that I will attach to the drawer pole, which will extend it about 3/8 of an inch. Now that's the solution I have because I did not want to buy another bit. The better solution would be to buy a round nose bit that has a 3/4 inch radius instead of the one I use, which is a 3/8 inch radius. This will give your digits plenty of room. The only issue is those bits only come with a 1/2 inch shank. So you have to use a router that takes a 1/2 inch shank, not your smaller 1/4 inch shank. Now you want to make sure that you're making these poles the size that will look best for the drawer you're putting them on. You definitely don't want to put a wider drawer pole on a smaller drawer. I mean, who would do that? That would be so silly. Let's Let's see how this works. Hey, it works. That's smooth. I like it. Comfy. I made this a little too wide for this size of drawer. I probably should have made it the size of these two drawer pulls, but all in all, I like the design. I think it's great for shop furniture, and I'm happy that I did the round over on the top and the bottom. It makes it nice and comfy. And you know I like to be comfortable. And it's really difficult to tell that I added some material in the back. It's hardly noticeable. I mean, I notice it because I added it and I know it's there, but it turned out pretty well. Now, if you like comfort as much as I do, and I really like comfort, this drawer pull that I'm currently making now is about 16.5 times more comfortable than the last one. So get excited. Sorry that was a little aggressive and I apologize. Now for this pull, I finally came to my senses and used walnut. And I came to my senses again and adjusted this insert plate to actually match my tabletop. But I've only been needing to fix that for about 5 months now, so I consider that ahead of schedule. Yes, I didn't make the drawer knob out of Purple Heart, but I wanted to add some flair, so I'm adding some strips of Padauk to this drawer pull. I like Padauk because it has a really vibrant red color that can add some pizzazz to your project. For a more subtle look, I really like the combo of walnut and white oak. These may be fighting words, but I generally don't love maple and walnut. It's just too much contrast for me. Generally. Let me know what your favorite 2 or even 3 wood combo is in the comments below. The 3 pieces that will make up this drawer pull are all 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and when this pull is finished, it will be 5.5 inches wide. I'm joining this pull together using rabbets that are 3/8 of an inch deep. But I don't know if this was the best way to assemble the pull. I do know it was the most time consuming. Now, I'm not a big hand tool user. I use mostly power tools, but sometimes hand saws are just the perfect tool for the job. I used it to cut these little Padauk pieces, and then I'll also use it to flush trim pieces, which you'll see in a second, and it just works really well. All of those little pieces I cut on the miter saw, I should have probably used a hand saw. I'm just not confident that I can make perfectly 90-degree cuts yet. Okay, I have 3 woodworking tips coming at you fast right here. Number 1, use blue tape on joints whenever you can. It makes glue squeeze up a lot easier and faster. 2, use sandpaper while the glue is still wet. It hides those gaps if you have any on your joints. And C, sand the ends of your dowels. It makes hammering them in a breeze. And a bonus 4th tip, use a sharp Forstner bit, otherwise your friends will call you Smokey the Bear. To make this joint even stronger, I'm using a 1/4 inch walnut dowel, and it won't be hidden, but I think it'll look fine, and it'll definitely beef up this bad boy. There was some tear out when I got rid of this wobble on the table saw, so I probably should have used some self-adhesive sandpaper, but you live and you learn. So I did something silly, not uncommon for me to do. Let's call it a learning experience. Have you ever been so focused on what you're building and the way you're building it that you fail to see the way simpler way you could have done it? Yeah, me neither, except like all the time. I'm not quite done with this drawer pull, and the drawer pull is coming together very nicely, but there is a much easier way I could have put this together. Here's what I mean. So here's the drawer pull so far. It's got the nice Padauk accents, the inlays, and I put it together using these rabbets. And then to give it some more strength, I inserted these 1/4 inch dowels into each end. But now that I'm pretty much done, except for the really cool thing I'm about to do to this to make it a lot more comfortable to use, I discovered there is a much easier and simpler and potentially stronger way I could have built this. Let me show you. Version number 2, you're gonna laugh because this is so much faster, and I'm making this look different, so it's not gonna look like the same pull, but I was kicking myself that I didn't think of this method sooner. Now, gluing end grain to edge grain is not super strong, but gluing edge grain to edge grain is really strong. So all I'm doing to assemble this drawer pull is gluing these 3 pieces together, and it will be plenty strong. And I cut the sides nice and flush on the miter saw. Let's add some curve appeal to this piece, and to do that, I'm going to use my combo belt sander / spindle sander, which is on my nifty 2-for-1 tool cart. If you want to check out plans to this cart that holds not one, but 2 power tools, or basically any other shop furniture you see in my workshop, just go to my website, thomascustomwoodworks.com. I have really detailed step-by-step written plans, and all my plans come with an in-depth instructional video where I'm building the piece so you can build it right alongside me. I am putting finger grooves on this drawer pull, and I haven't really seen this done online, and I don't know why, because as you'll see, it makes this pull so comfortable. I guess now that I think about it, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But if I were to do this again, I would use a different spindle attachment. The one I chose was the closest size to my finger, but I would have chosen one size bigger. That way I wouldn't have to go as deep to get the finger width that I want. Now you may notice that where my fingers go is not perfectly centered, and I did that for a very specific reason. I did it because I'm not even gonna try and make something up. I just messed it up, but it doesn't really matter. I'm realizing something more and more the older I get, and I am really old. I'm 36. Joking, joking, I know that's not old. But I'm realizing that most things don't matter. Is it frustrating when I make a mistake on a project, or my 49ers lose, or something else doesn't work out in my life the way I want it to? Yes, of course. But if we're healthy and our relationships with friends and family are pretty good, then we're doing all right. Oh wow, yeah, that is way better. Yeah, that is comfy. Okay, back to what really matters, drawer pulls. I think if I were going to make one set of drawer pulls, I would combine these 2 walnut versions. I would assemble it the simpler way with just butt joints and glue. I would probably add some accents, but I would use oak instead of padauk, and I would curve the front corners. I like my drawer pulls to be curvilicious. When making drawers, drawer pulls are not the only area where you can save money. Drawer slides are getting a little expensive for my liking, and sometimes can be a little tricky to install. So here's a video all about making your own wooden drawer slides that I know you're really gonna like.